So Kevin Feige said the other day that the MCU will not be getting Miles Morales anytime soon. Yes, it seems like Sony will not let Marvel use Miles Morales until the Spiderverse series is done. So when can we actually expect Miles to come to the MCU? And what does that mean for the next Spider-Man movie? But first, please like, subscribe, and share. Anything you can do will help my channel reach more people. And if you like this video, make sure to hit that bell icon so you can get my videos as soon as they drop. Yes, earlier this week, Kevin Feige said that he is very interested in having Miles Morales come to the MCU. The biggest problem, of course, is that he doesn't have the rights to actually use the character. You see, anytime they want to actually use a character from the Spider-Man portion of Marvel, they have to get Sony to give them the thumbs up. And there's a reason why Sony keeps allowing them to use Spider-Man. Basically, any movie that Spider-Man is in brings in a lot of money for Marvel, and then Sony just gets a free check. But that said, they want to have personal ability to say yes or no to pretty much any time they want to use one of the other characters. And pretty much the second biggest character to Spider-Man himself is the Miles Morales version of Spider-Man. Yes, Miles Morales is a newer version of Spider-Man that's really only been around in the Marvel Comics for about 15 years. And like I said, Sony owns all rights to him. And they actually have a movie series right now, the Spiderverse series, that's about halfway done. They at least have one more movie coming out in that series, and they don't want a second version of Miles Morales out there confusing things up. So while we have Spider-Man in the Marvel movies, specifically he's going to be in the fourth Spider-Man next year, we will not get Miles Morales anytime soon. And another problem is that the third Spider-Verse movie keeps getting delayed. It should have actually already been out about a year and a half ago, but right now it could be another year or year and a half till we get the finale. So what is taking so long? Well, apparently there's been a whole bunch of rewrites for the scripts, and Sony is just not satisfied for how they want to end this series. So until that gets lined up, Sony has no desire to let Miles Morales go anywhere. So that just means that Marvel is stuck with just Spider-Man. And I mean, if you're going to get stuck with one out of the two, Spidey is the way to go. But I do believe that Miles Morales is a hero of the future, and he will be in the MCU soon enough. So what does that mean for Spider-Man 4? Well, as of recently, we know they've actually started to film Spider-Man 4. Yes, they are filming in New York, and there's been a series of pictures released recently kind of helping people figure out when it'll take place. And apparently it takes place about a year before the end scene of Thunderbolts, where they see the Fantastic Four ship come in. So that means Spider-Man 4 takes place about a year or so after Spider-Man 3, where Peter lost pretty much everyone he knows. Nobody in the MCU even knows who he is. They don't even know who Peter Parker is anymore. So Spider-Man is all alone. So in the fourth movie, he's going to be doing a lot of crime fighting just locally in New York, not dealing with a whole bunch of big bads, just local bads that he has to figure his way out around, because he will not be having the help of any of the other superheroes in the MCU. Where it used to be Doctor Strange and Iron Man, it's just going to be Peter Parker by himself. And one thing that I was hoping for was someplace during that movie, he was actually going to find himself being the person that was being a mentor. Yes, I was truly hoping that we were going to see the launch of Miles Morales in the second half of Spider-Man 4. But now, that idea has been completely squashed. We will have to wait till at least Spider-Man 5, if not later, before we get Miles Morales coming into the MCU. And when will Spider-Man 5 come out? Well, as we know, 4 will be coming out right before Doomsday. And we can all assume that Spider-Man will be in Doomsday and Secret Wars, and we can definitely assume that he will survive. So we will not be seeing Spider-Man 5 until way after Secret Wars. So at the bare minimum, the soonest that we could actually expect Spider-Man 5 to come out would be mid to late 2028. So we're talking about 3 more years before we could ever see Miles Morales. And I guarantee you this, we will not see Miles Morales soft launched in Secret Wars or Doomsday. He will get launched partway through a Spider-Man movie, because he will be trained by Peter and eventually take over for Peter when he wants to retire. So we have at least 3 years before we get Miles Morales. And frankly, it could be even later than that. We're assuming that they're going to make Spider-Man 5 immediately after Doomsday. Maybe they'll want to take a break, or maybe the story that they're wanting to use for 5 will make it come much later in whatever phase that is. Remember, after Secret Wars, they're actually going to be focusing on the X-Men pretty solidly. So it could be 29, it could be 2030 now before we actually get Miles Morales. And so while I am actually excited for Secret Wars and Doomsday, frankly, I'm not too excited for Spider-Man 4 anymore. He's just going to be fighting low-level villains, having to deal with things on his own. But we're not going to get Miles Morales, we're not going to get any giant-level villains, and frankly, I really do feel like it's just Sony and Marvel spinning wheels before Doomsday. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's actually the best Spider-Man because it's actually just focusing on Spider-Man being a hero and learning to be a hero on his own. And I would love to be proved wrong and it to be great. But I do worry that they just kind of moved it around and kind of snuck in an extra movie before Doomsday. And it's actually going to not do anything to further along the plot of the MCU. And either way, it's going to be a long time before we see Miles Morales show his face. So even though we're going to see plenty of Spidey in the next few years, Mr. Morales himself, it'll be a bit. Hey, thanks for watching my video. Make sure to click that subscribe button and check out those videos on screen now.